Do you want surround sound all the time? If not, follow these simple steps. If you want surround sound all the time, you can watch our video on how to set up a home theater system using the receiver as your main control. You can view this video at esupport.sony.com. This video will show you how to set up a home theater system. We will be using a Sony Bravia TV as the main control of our system. We will also hook up a Sony Blu-ray disc player and a PlayStation 3 to our TV while running all of these to a Sony home theater system. We will also cover speaker placement and setup, as well as some steps to ensure that you are getting sound from each speaker. Before we get started, you'll need a receiver, a TV, speakers, speaker wires, a pen, some paper, and either HDMI, digital optical audio cable, composite or component cables for each of the products you are going to be setting up in your home theater. We are going to start by hooking up our components. We are using the TV as the brain of our system. We are using this configuration because the receiver does not need to be turned on when watching TV, Blu-ray movies, or playing PlayStation. If you would prefer to just turn on the receiver and have surround sound at all times, you can watch that video on how to set up a home theater system using the receiver as the main control at esupport.sony.com. So let's get started with our hookup. Make sure all of your products are turned off. The Blu-ray player and the PS3 will each need an HDMI cable. First, let's plug the Blu-ray disc player into the TV. On the back of the Blu-ray player, connect one end of the HDMI cable to the output and the other end of the HDMI cable into the input on the TV. As you plug your products in, you should make a note of where you are plugging them into. We'll need that information later. Now we are going to take the signal out of the PlayStation and into the TV. I'm using HDMI 2 as my input. Now let's connect the TV to the receiver. Take one end of the digital optical audio cable and connect it to the TV's output. Connect the other end to the receiver's input. Now that all of our components are connected, let's hook up the speaker. Each speaker has a red and a black side. Make sure when you are connecting the speakers that you match up the wires to the proper side. If you have spring clips, press the clip down, insert the wire into their corresponding slot. For example, if the gray wire with the black stripe is connected to the black on the back of the speaker, then make sure to connect the other end of that wire to the black on the back of the receiver. Power on your components. Press the input button to rotate through the input signals and verify that you are obtaining signal from both the PS3 and the Sony Blu-ray disc player. Next, we need to test the speakers, so we will go into the speaker testing menu. Press the up or down arrow buttons until speaker is selected, and then press the center button. Use the up or down arrow buttons to highlight SP pattern. Press the center button. Here you will need to tell the receiver which way you have set up your speakers. Press the up or down arrow buttons until you see an image that is similar to your speaker configuration. Once you have selected your configuration, press the center button. Now, back in the speaker setting menu, press the up or down arrow buttons until you highlight test tones and press the center button. Press the up arrow button to activate test tones. As the test cycles through the speakers, you should hear sound coming from the speaker that is highlighted on the screen. If no sound is heard, check your speaker connection and your volume and try the test again. Do not turn your volume up high during the test, as sudden high noise may damage your speakers. And ensure that it is not on mute. A moderate volume is sufficient. By pressing the up and down arrow buttons in this menu, you can choose to test speakers individually, which is helpful if you are not receiving sound and need to adjust that speaker's connection. Once you are able to hear sound from all of your speakers, press the menu button to go back to the main menu. and then press the menu button to exit.